3, 2, 1, go. All right, what's up guys? So Halloween is coming up and I want to make those like gourds, those like, I don't know, I think they're gourds, pumpkinish type things. So that's what we're going to make. So we have a sphere here. I'm going to validate it, just a regular sphere. And I want to use symmetry, but I want to change the symmetry to the symmetry going across the middle here. So I think that's the green one. Yeah, that's the green. You can see the line going across. And I want to use vertex. So when I do those two, then you can use the arrow and you can stretch it out like this. I want it to be like kind of more of a bulb on the bottom and then like a little bit thinner on the top. So something like this is a good start. So now I'm going to change this back to auto. So I'm gonna remesh this, because anytime you try to move it after you stretch it like this, it can be weird. But if you remesh it, it kind of just like resets it and makes it like a normal shape. So I'm just gonna do it at like 200. I probably should do it lower than that. Yeah, let's do it lower than that. I'll do like 125. Okay, so we have this. So I want to do a radial. And radial, we'll just go to our shape here. We'll do add, and then we'll go down here to radial. And so now when we use our gizmo, right, see it says 4. So if here's our gizmo, okay, we have to go to the actual sphere and not the radial. So we go to the actual sphere and then we pull it apart, and it's something like that, which is always fun to play around with radial. So let's go back to the radial, tap this to bring up the options again. So I think we need like, yeah, maybe something like that is good. Maybe that's a good amount. So I'll tap the gizmo again, because they need to be, oh, that's annoying. They need to be closer. So I'm thinking something like that. Maybe one more, maybe 8. All right, so I want to just pick one. So tap on one, and we want the bottom to be a little bit more. Let's turn symmetry off. Yeah, let's turn symmetry off. And the only problem is it's pulling out like, there we go. So you gotta have it go straight. I'm gonna choose this one because it's right on the side. I think that'll make it a little bit easier. Oh, also, and something that might help, since we're still using this one, is to tilt it. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I know what we have to do. So if we choose one of them, let's move the pivot. If we move the pivot up to the top, I think that's what we want. Or do we want it to the bottom? No, let's move it to the bottom. I think the bottom is a better idea. That way the bottom will stay put. So we tap pivot again. Now let's try to, it's still a little weird in the middle, but I might be okay with that. I wonder why it's doing that. So if we move them apart, I just want to see what's happening and why we can't just spin it normally. Oh, the symmetry turned on again. I think that's what it was. So the symmetry turned on again after I turned it off, because it's a butt monkey. And it likes to do things like that just to mess with me. I'm convinced. So I also feel like usually you can see the little thingies a little bit more. So squeezing it together helps. That's a help. So now that I've done that, let's see if I need another one. Is that too many? We'll stick with 8. And we'll make them a little wider. Okay, so that's pretty good. Maybe we can just stretch them. And now I want to go back to move, because there's a very particular shape that I want to try to get. And apparently it's not easy. Oh, that's better. Maybe I want it a little bit bigger on the top too. And also maybe the bottom is a little more round. I have to be careful not to spin it. I don't want to spin this. That's not bad, actually. I can get down with that. Okay, I think that's all right. So let's see, what do we want to do next? So I'm pretty happy with these. Let's try and let's voxel remesh. We're still just using one shape. Remember, we're using a radial, so it's really just one shape. Apparently it's this shape. So I'm going to voxel remesh that one shape, and then I'm going to smooth it out. You can also use round edge if you have that. If not, check out my Nomad Sculpt cheat sheet. Or you can just smooth. I want to make it nice and smooth. I think that looks pretty good. And then for the stem, let's just use tube. We don't need snap. We can use path. We'll start up here and just maybe do something like this. Nice little curve. Press the green button. See, this was, it put it into the radial, so we'll just take it out. Okay. Oops. So let's use front. Actually, we don't have to use front. Let's use tube, and let's bring this right to the middle, like so. That looks better. We'll hit spline, make it nice and curvy. So maybe something like that looks good. So now we just want to make the base wider. So we'll use radius, and we can make the base a bit wider. And actually, let's hit radius again. It gives us a little more freedom. So let's say I add a new node there. So now I can add this even wider, which I think looks better. And I think the rest of this looks pretty good. Maybe I'll add another node so I can curve this a little bit more. I think I like that. Actually, maybe it looks more like a pepper when I do that. So I like this. I'm going to go ahead and validate it. It's not very, I'm going to voxel remesh it because it's very small right now. So I'm going to voxel remesh it at like 200, 190 or so. You can smooth it out. Just use regular smooth. Smooth it out. Looks good. Looks real good. So let's use crease and sub. Not symmetry, just crease and sub. And I like to make these little pieces here that kind of like curve out. Kind of like that. I like it. You can do regular crease too if you want to add like some, like life and detail to it. Press a little harder if you want a little more, if you want it deeper. So you can do something like that. Maybe we do a fun swirl type at the top. Something like that. And you can use smooth to sort of just, you know, get the edges a little more kind of natural looking. Like so. But it's a good, quick way to just add some detail. So let's hit, oh, this is the back. Let's hit front. Okay, so this is, yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I wanted. Yeah, you can color it and light it and all that stuff. But you don't really need me to do that because that would just take longer in the tutorial, and it's already 10 minutes. I wanted to try to do like 5-minute tutorials, but I just can't. It's so hard. I'm going to change it to lit PBR. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint everything with this. Oops. We'll take the radial and paint. paint all. And also a nice little subsurface, which I always love to do. Maybe this will make it a little darker maybe. I could just do a regular color, but I'm not. So here's the quickest lighting tutorial ever. Turn the environment off. Add a light. Let's bring this up to 2. Okay, so just clone this light, move it over. It really doesn't matter. I mean, just turn it back towards the opposite way, like this, and bring the intensity down. 0.38. Boom. Let's go back to lighting, clone this, and let's just move it up a little bit so it's not in the same spot. So now just, I'm just going to move this so this rotate is really easy. Just rotate it till you see that bright white line, and then make it brighter. Let's make it warm. Okay, so now we go back here and we will clone this light, and we'll bring it over here even though it doesn't matter where we put it. So we'll do the same thing on this side, but maybe a little more. And let's change the color. Let's make it like, I don't know, we'll do something like that. You can bring the lighting down a little bit, and then you have something like this. And super simple lighting. I'm going to leave the environment off for now, but let's turn on post-processing, put on all the bells and whistles. You can play with these, see which one you like more. And then if you want, you can turn on the environment, just turn it down so it's not so crazy bright. And there you go. And that's how you make a gourd. I wanted to make something like this because I think I want to print and make it real smooth and make it really nice colors, like maybe like white and gold or something like that. So I can give to my mom just like as a Halloween like ornament, because she likes these kind of things, and I do too. And if you want one, maybe I'll put a couple on like eBay or something, like, and you can like watch the process. I'll record some of my airbrushing and stuff, and then you'll have some art that you've seen the whole process from like start to finish. I think that's pretty cool. And I might do one with some like, you know, little eyes and like a, you know, like a mouth. I want to do a teeth tutorial, so I'll probably do that on this, and then maybe I'll print it like that as well. So it'll be a little bit more charactery. All right, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. What's up guys, Drug Free Dave here, and welcome to Advanced 3D Character Design with Nomad Sculpt. This is a little bit more of a challenge. By now you've taken some of my classes, you've been working with Nomad Sculpt for a while, so it's time to up the ante. It's time to do a sculpt that's a little more challenging, but also it's going to be way more rewarding. So of course, you know the drill. What you're seeing right now is the class. So everything you see, you will learn. And I've also included some extras in this class. We have some 3D sculpts that I've made, some 3D accessories that you can plug in. And I'm really excited to teach at more of a faster pace, more along the lines of how I would normally sculpt, and probably how you sculpt when you're doing your projects. And I think that you'll be able to create some amazing designs once you work through this class. And you just kind of pick up some things that I do when I really go full out and I really pull out all the stops. All right, I hope you guys are excited to start this project. I'm excited to teach. Let's jump to the next video, class project.